You are live. You are live. This setup is so dope. Okay. You got the city in the background. You got the world in the background. You got live on all platforms. This setup is dope. Today we got the pink going. It's March 6th, 2025. What did you do with your day? What did you do with your day? I'll tell you what I did with my day. Physically, I went to work. I went to the gym. I came home. I worked. I ate a little. Physically, probably wasn't like, whatever. I went through whatever I went through physically. I went through the motions today. And mentally, it was a Passover. Sorry to not leave you in suspense, but it was so, or be so anticlimactic, but it was so, it was another day where I really didn't think about anything. You get me? Like, there are days where they just pass you by. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to recognize that they're passing by, recognize that they're passing by while they're passing by. Like, am I supposed to recognize that I'm losing time in my life? And that's why, and that's something to focus on. So I then go tend to it in whatever like fashion I'm going to. How should I interpret the fact that time feels like it's sailing over my head? So much so that I'm not even like really thinking about the time itself. I mean, how could I? One could certainly say that one is taking it for granted. I don't really like thinking about that these days. But when I do, absolutely, I'll call a spade a spade. I'll be honest with myself. Absolutely. I do feel like I don't see time passing by. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to feel guilty about that. It's okay to feel a little guilty about that. I think for what I know in life, I think it's okay to feel a little guilty, a little morose, just disgusted with yourself because maybe you did whatever you did, you wasted time. However, you deem you wasted time. Maybe you did waste time. It's okay to reflect on that. There's no problem with it. That's when life gets complicated. It's because like, am I supposed to focus on that to try to correct it? Or am I supposed to just keep on living and things will sort themselves out? And then bang, you realize you're in the Shoy Show, March 6th, 2025, and you're like, what the fuck? What the fuck is up in here? And you're like, what the fuck? We talking about some psychology shit? And you like, what? What time is it, yo? I gotta go to sleep. And you like, what? It's March 6th, 2025? Let me hear what this dumb motherfucker's talking about. But yeah, it was one of those days. And you know what? Why I'm sharing my generic day with you? Because maybe you had a generic day too. Maybe you feel the same way that I do. And you could start thinking, you could start like blaming yourself and really attacking yourself. Ah, such a disgusting feeling. It hurts, you know? Like when I'm simply unproductive in my life, like I even miss the gym, I'm like yelling at myself. That's just how I am. It's so organic to me, I can't even begin to explain it to you. Am I supposed to do that? Like if I didn't go out on a Saturday, Saturday's my day off, right? One of my days off. If I don't go out, I feel like, ah, shit, I didn't get the chance. I didn't accomplish nothing. Even though I did, I did what I did throughout the day. But as far as like going out, having fun, something like that, I didn't do it. Is that like a dead day? Am I supposed to knock myself for that? It's that type of psychology, almost psychosis. You can make an argument it is psychosis. It's almost that type of mentality that will fucking do you in. It is to your detriment. It will destroy you if you think that way. And that's an imminent threat, an imminent danger to us all, thinking that way, going down any rabbit hole in our lives. We must recognize the beauty of the human mind that can even say something or even conjure up something to the effect of, I can imagine this scenario. Oh, that's like genius. Every morning, you should say, today is going to be the best day, to program your brain into trying. That's what someone just wrote. And that someone's my sister. To find the silver lining in things. Yeah, absolutely. I try to reinforce things. It feels very unorganic to me. It feels very unnatural. I try to, like, I'll walk down the street. I'll be like, you are smart. You are intelligent. You can do this. Like, I'm about to go running. I'm like, you can do this. I mean, I never really use that self-empowerment. I don't really like saying it. I just started saying it for like the last 3 days. I don't think I can really do it. It feels so unnatural. But positive reinforcement means something. Because guess what? 99% of your life is lived through your own eyes. And if there's anybody that's going to enforce you or encourage you, it has to be you. That's why it resonates so loudly with us. And we're like, yeah, that expression makes a lot of sense. Positive reinforcement. For all the things considered. So then what do I do with my life? I mean, listen, this is how we're starting News with Shoy today. It's nothing bad. It's not negative. But if you like it, like and subscribe. Bam! Ooh, I was talking to one of my friends. I spoke to a few content creators in the last few days, managers. And I was talking to one of my friends earlier today, and he's like, dude, you have to say like, hey, like and subscribe. And he's like, and if you do it a different way every time, he's like, I think that could be special. Like it's personal, it's unique. It's not like some generic like auto like AI mashup. And I was like, bro, but we use AI. And he's just like, yeah, I know. You can't run away from AI now, Running away from AI is like running around, Okay? Running away from AI is like doing this, all right? This is how we're gonna start the Shoy Show right now. Or News with Shoy, I'm sorry. This is a new series, News with Shoy. All right, this is how we're gonna light it up. All right, you don't want to be running away from the fire like that. Okay, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to be like that. Now, what is that? Well, why you running away like that? You know what I'm saying? Why are you running away with your pants on fire like that? That's very dangerous. That's actually very scary. You might be laughing at that shit. That's scary. You can definitely die. Let me tell you something. There's actually nothing funny about that. Because if you think that's funny, imagine you were on fire like that. Oh, shit. Ruin your life. Your life's ruined. What do you think's going to happen over here? Your life's ruined. Listen, it's not my fault that you don't get this whole background over here. You know why you don't get it? You know why? Because you're not watching News with Shoy on one of the other platforms, all right? So you stay over there on TikTok. The Chinese, I'm telling you, they're coming after us. They're like, the Chinese have our data. I'm like, so what? I don't give a fuck. Nobody cares, bro. What the fuck they gonna do with that shit? I still gotta go, I'm peeling my boiled eggs over here. And this guy's over here, China has our data. This is what I'm really doing, okay? This is what I'm really doing. I'm looking up deviled eggs recipes because I love them so much, right? This is what I'm really doing, all right? I'm looking up deviled eggs, yummy. Hold on. I'm looking up some deviled eggs, okay? Okay, all right? What's that, paprika or cayenne or both? Okay? I'm looking up some deviled eggs, all right? That I know that I'm not gonna make because deviled eggs to me is fucking delicious. It's my favorite, but I'm not gonna do it. Why? Because I don't think I have enough time in my life to make these deviled eggs. I definitely have the time. I probably have the time. I definitely have the time. Who the fuck can't make deviled eggs? I already told you, okay? You want to fuck with me with ads, you better pay me some shit. Or I'm not going to your website, all right? We need the cayenne back in the picture. Oh, those look terrible. Give me some nice ones. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna look up these deviled eggs, right? And I'm gonna be like, damn, those look mad good. And then I'll probably say in my head, oh, my sister will make them because she's the only one that'll make them, right? So then I daydream about them for a little bit. And then I stop looking at deviled eggs and I go about my day. Right? Because what am I gonna do? Talk about deviled eggs all day? I can't do that. So then, right? So then after I stop looking at the deviled eggs, then I'm walking down the street and you bump into me and you're like, they're like, yo, bro, you don't see what China's doing with our data? And I'm like, bro, I don't give a shit. What you think I'm doing right now? Like, I just farted 2 seconds ago. I don't give a shit. What are you talking about? The Chinese ate my homework. What are you talking about? The Chinese gonna take all our data. I don't give a shit, bro. Like, what do you think is going on in my life that you think I give a shit about some stupid Chinese company taking my fucking homework? I don't give a fuck. Why would I give a fuck, yo? Why would I care? Why would I care? I'm doing news with Shoy, motherfucker. As long as these apps work right now, I'm chilling. I don't give a fuck about China. Fuck China. But you gotta see how much I play the game. I'm not stupid. I go to China. What you think I'm gonna say? I'm gonna be like, praise China. They're gonna be like, say you love China. I'm gonna be like, I love China. China's the best. Say you allege, you pledge your allegiance. I'm like, I'll pledge allegiance. Come on, you gotta do what you gotta do to survive. Okay, that's not my fault. All right, that's human survival of the fittest. Figure it out. You over here yelling about China. I don't know what stupid ass documentary you just saw, but I ain't got time for it. Man, how we starting the Shoy show today? How are we starting the Shoy show today? This is the most glorious thing right now. Because if you running around over here with your pants on high, look, I am raising concern. And to be honest, the more you look at it, the more you get disturbed. Because at first you're like, ah, ha, 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 funny guy. Guy's got his pants on fire. Ha, 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 so funny. And then you start looking at that shit and you're an adult and you got kids and you like, fuck. Like, yo, I ain't got time for this shit. Like, when the blackout happened in 2003 in New York, in the East Coast, I was like, I met up with some neighbors. The lights were out. We all had to get together. I loved it. And I didn't love it because I think that human grace and human spirit is important, like being together, right? I loved it because I just loved it. And that's the only thing I knew about it. Nowadays, I feel like there's always got to be a thought before a purpose, or a thought before a purpose, but like really like a thought before an action. The movement isn't seamless. And part of the reason is because there's fucking laws out there, and you better think twice before what you do, or bang bang, you're gonna get see a hand slap. How about fucking cuffs thrown on you, thrown into the fucking wall, psh, fucking bringing out the batons on you, beating your ass. Helpless little old you, nobody to help you in sight. You gotta wait for this ass whooping to stop. And you're like, shit, oh shit, I should have listened to the rules. That's why this is fucking scary. Your pants on fire. You don't want to get in no trouble when you're an adult. You ain't got time for that shit. Like, and this actually might be a little sad too at the same time, for sure. For sure, it might be sad. The fact that I mean, of course it is. To me, this is obvious. I'm not going to make any assumption things are obvious, but to me, things are obvious. And I think I mean, man, there's a lot to be said. I think a life worth, or a life, a forgetful life, a forgetful life, not not like understanding time, like time lapses. But again, the thought of correcting it is also overwhelming. And I think that's part and parcel that, again, as you go through life, you put on certain guardrails, you put on circumstance, you start shaping things. It's as natural as the process of doing something, what some deem as mental models. The process of getting married is meeting a significant other, having babies, living a life together, signing a license, all of that. And there's a path to that. Some people call it a rite of passage, but the meaning has no bearing here. This is simply a path that's carved in life. Getting a job, going to college, graduating from college. These milestones for sure, but I'm talking about the path itself. So the way we drift through these things, we barely notice. And then you're the whole way through, you're asking yourself, am I noticing? Am I not noticing? And sometimes I hate myself because I'm not noticing. And I feel that I should be. It's a paralyzing life to live. I mean, we said it right at the outset. It's scary, it's dangerous. So yeah, positive reinforcement. You need positive reinforcement in your life. You should give yourself as much as much of that as possible in your life. You should try. All right, let's jump into the news. I don't know where to start, but that's exactly where you do start. You just start. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to jump in. Trump will delay some tariffs on Mexico and Canada for a month amid economic fears. Trump's erratic trade policies are baffling businesses, threatening investment and economic growth. While automakers' short reprieve from tariffs isn't enough to weather Trump's escalating trade war. Trump changes course and delays some tariffs on Mexico and Canada. Actually,
just for Mexico, sir, the previous one.
Same thing for Mexico. One for Canada, one for Mexico.
Yes, sir.
They've been in the news lately, haven't they? And I spoke to the president of Mexico, wonderful woman, today, and we helped them out with the problem they were having to do with the tariffs, short-term tariffs. And we had a very good conversation. Also, we discussed drugs, and they've been working much harder lately. Do you notice that? On people coming in and drugs. And we've made tremendous progress on both.
Some of these exemptions that have been announced and some of these temporary delays, have you been influenced in those decisions because of the market reaction?
Well, there are no delays at all. No, nothing to do with the market. I'm not even looking at the market because long-term, the United States will be very strong with what's happening here. Now, these are countries and companies, foreign companies that have been ripping us off, and no president did anything about it until I came along, and then I did a lot about it.
Steel and aluminum tariffs are due to kick in next week on Canada, Mexico, and every other country. Are those going to be modified as well?
No, those aren't modified. Those are happening next week, and the big one will be on April 2nd when reciprocal tariffs.
I love reading about economics. It's so freaking awesome. You learn a ton. I mean, all right, so we already know tariffs just mean higher prices. We're already in like a state of inflation right now. I estimate inflation to be anywhere from 3 to 11% on an annual basis. The real number that everybody uses, even around the world, is like 2 to 3%. That's the range that the Fed has. The Federal Reserve actually has a mandate to get inflation under control, but their soft target, which they say very openly, but it's not part of like the actual mandate. The mandate is to control inflation. Their target is to have 2% inflation every year. And if you don't know that inflation is actually a good thing, it's the way we're designed. We want prices to go up so that we can induce spending sooner than later, because 70% of our economy is based on consumer spending. That means if people don't open up their wallet, we don't have an economy, and China would usurp us. That's what that means. So we want prices to go up over time. But we know that inflation is good. However, added tariffs will definitely add additional cost to everyone. So now that we got the tariffs out of the way, they're calling out Trump's erratic trade policies being baffled by businesses, and it's threatening investment and economic growth. I definitely agree with that. You could already see the scrambling of multiple, all companies really around the world, trying to understand what the tax codes are. There's way more administrative overhead right now. Everyone's scrambling for information. When does it kick in? When is it not going to kick in? It's not going to kick in. Personally, I don't mind that chaos. I think it comes with the job, but that continuity also could definitely threaten investment for sure. If you lower barriers, if you raise barriers to entry, there will be less entrants. So it's difficult to look at it. It's difficult to interpret it on a lot of levels, because the way Trump negotiates is by design. He's a bull in a china shop. He shocks you. He moves forward. He takes actions all the way. If you're going to play a game of chicken with Donald Trump, you may get shot. Don't think that he's like just on like the defensive and he's like waiting until you're going to shoot first. No. He's good. He's good. He's great. He's probably the best at it. A lot of people think he's just a showman. He's not just a showman. He executes. So anyway, so he's going to go in there and he's going to say, I want this many tariffs. But what he does, and the beauty of it all, at least when you understand how the equation and the argument and the negotiation itself, how it's broken down, if you really think about it, shocks you, sits you down at the table, completely ejects your frame of thought, or helps you eject your frame of thought. You leave that meeting thinking, oh shit, these two countries, what the hell is going on? He brings you back again, or even a third time, however long it takes. And you end up seeing his side of the deal over time. You understand that it's an exchange of money or resources, which everyone has. So then you come to the table, because tariffs are not the only way that the two nations get along. Benefit from one another. It's not just goods and services. The goods and services affect lives. They affect our lives. So when you think about the magnitude of the people that these jobs are supporting societally, how could you put a quantity on that? It's like, oh, we're taxing $100 billion. You have to think about far more than that. We don't, right? We listen to the news, we take the numbers in, and we just keep it moving. And that's probably what we should be doing. But as far as this is concerned, it is threatening investment. And it is threatening, therefore, it is threatening economic growth. Therefore, it is affecting lives. It is. Sorry to tie lives back with money, but that's just the way it works. From a business point of view, it's genius. He's a genius. He's not only a genius, he's a genius on many fronts. He knows how to figure it out, execute all of that, but he also knows how to deploy resources. Personally, I don't think he had, and he admits this too, he didn't have a good team with him in 2016. It's just like the NFL, the NBA. You need a good team, right? So that you could take over the Illuminati. Illuminati! You know what I'm saying? Because you got to take over the Illuminati sometimes. Elon Musk tells Republican lawmakers he's not to blame for federal firings. Let me tell you something. I work for the government. They're scrambling. I have to make a tariff report in a couple of weeks, like 2 weeks. I have to do this new tariff report that calculates all the tariffs, all these crazy shit around the world. So annoying. So annoying. Anyway, and people definitely got fired. I knew a lot of people that got fired already from government jobs. I'm surprised I even did. I mean, I do work for the government, but surprised. I am surprised by that. And Elon Musk is not to blame. Why would he be to blame? Why would Elon Musk be to blame for the federal firing? Why? We brought up Jack Welch the other day, and I was bringing up the point. Who is Elon Musk supposed to be? Like, let's say you don't like Elon Musk as a person, so you think. You have the audacity to say that, right? I don't think anybody should say that about anybody. But if you don't like Elon Musk, what he stands for, whatever, first of all, what the hell do you know about Elon Musk? I mean, what do you know about Elon Musk? You don't know anything about Elon Musk. You know whatever the fuck is in the news. So first, set that aside, because that's enough to make the argument. But set that aside. Number two, it's at his discretion. He has to make moves as a CEO. He's a CEO, right? You would be a CEO if you were in that position, or whatever. You're a CEO in your own right, in your own life. But in this situation, over his group of people, he's a CEO. Call him a CEO, call him a president, call him a leader, owner, all of the above. He's doing that, and he's controlling it, and he's executing, and that matters significantly. That's one of the reasons why I like Trump so much. From a business standpoint, so sharp, clean. He is a great businessman. Full stop. I mean, he's just great. And I like the same thing about Elon Musk. He executes. I don't agree with everything. I don't even know the extent of everything. What the fuck? You read one headline, you think that's what the law is? The law, new law that says XYZ. Have you really even thought of the ramifications, or thought the ramifications through? No, you read one fucking headline and you were like, oh shit, Roe v. Wade, abortion, they're going to ban abortion. To the extent of the imagination of one's mind is as far as you can take it. I mean, even if you had an abortion, you still don't know what people are going through right now. You had your time, but that has no bearing on what people are feeling today. Even if it was legal back then and it's illegal now, whatever it is, you feel it the way you feel it. Does it mean anything if you don't go protest? Does it mean anything if you get what I'm saying? Like, take it easy. When I think about Elon Musk and how he approaches the game, really, because it really is a game, but the way he approaches his work, people love to say, oh, he didn't create the spaceship. They try to, knock him down a few pegs. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Oh, he did the Ford style. Someone had the technology and he pretty much mass produced rockets. Yeah, he mass produced rockets. I don't think we could be saying that right now in our zeitgeist. Like, in our lifetime, our generation, we can't be saying something like that, because we don't just mass produce rockets. We're not making 1,000 rockets a fucking day. We make like what? A rocket a year, maybe? What's the average right now? He went out there and created a fucking company to do that shit. He created the first electric car. He didn't create the first electric car. Fucking Tesla did. So you shut the fuck up. What do you do? I had my sour cream and onion chips with my nice little cucumber dip. Knock that back with some cheese doodles, the puffy ones, not the crunchy ones. I don't discriminate crunchy versus regular cheese doodles. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm gonna have cheese doodles, there's only one way. Okay? And I try not to do this. I always tell myself I'm not gonna put it on the screen. I'm not gonna put food on the screen. But who the fuck doesn't like a nice, crispy, crunchy, yummy, delicious? Who doesn't want one of these right here? Who doesn't want some nice, yummy? What you want, the cheese puff? Who doesn't want some Cheetos? Come on now. And then you know what? You get a sip of it can't be water. That's all I drink. I only drink water, but it can't be water. Maybe Pepsi, motherfucker. Dirty Pepsi. You drink some Pepsi right here. You get a couple sips. 1, 2 sips. Big sips. Big belch. Big burping belch. one big belch right here, you know, and then you go and you fucking grab some crunchy Cheetos. Ah, shit. Now you living life over here. That's life right there. Come on, y'all. I bring you the best. I only bring you the best. We did a segment the other day about a big, fat, crunchy, yummy, fucking crispy French cruller. Oh shit! And we found the best fucking picture. And Google Images, they usually suck. They need to enhance that product. They fucking suck. Google Images, the fuck? I be Googling images and I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, you gonna make me see this shit as the representation of what I just Googled? You're gonna give me this group of shit pictures? You're worth fucking $2 trillion, whatever the fuck that means. Fuck you, Google. Fuck you. imagine that's what I lived my life on. Like I built my life around that. Yeah, that's the guy Shoy. Yeah, he fucking hates Google, bro. No, dude, this guy hates Google, bro. Like, there's no one in the world that hates Google more than him. And if you think, and if you think that's crazy, you just remember this, okay? All right. You just remember this could be you over here, okay? And what the fuck you gonna do over there? You gonna be like, ah. What you gonna do? See, again, you stare at it long enough, you're like, damn, this bitch almost exploded. Now, why is that funny? Because it's not happening to us. That's why it's funny. You know, when shit isn't happening to you, you chilling. When something's happening to you, it's not funny anymore. All of a sudden, it's not funny. Oh, shit. It's not funny, bro. What you say about my mother? Bro, it's not funny, bro. I mean, we had the Cheetos. We had the pants on fire or whatever the fuck. We had the fire and we blew up the fire, you know? You get what I'm saying? All right, we're going back to the news, okay? So who are you supposed to blame? And again, who is Elon Musk supposed to be? Who's he supposed to be? Is he supposed to be some brash, braggadocious individual? Is he supposed to be? It's feedback. I can't do it because it's feedback. It has feedback. I was on. Somebody joined my live earlier. So who's Elon Musk supposed to be? Or is he supposed to be like Albert Einstein? Is he supposed to be in some fucking basement and secluded all by himself? Or is he supposed to be some loud, boisterous, however the fuck you want to describe Elon Musk? The guy's doing great things. And I've said it before. And he's making moves. If it's anything that I don't like, inertia, not doing anything, it's the antithesis of progress, of success, of completion. And when I look at how Elon Musk and Donald Trump execute, I'm like, yo, there's a lot of most of the shit, more than half the shit, really, if I'm really being honest, more than half the shit that I read in headlines and in stories and listen to. What the fuck do I know about it? They say a few words about it. I'm like, oh shit, Elon Musk is doing this now. Oh shit, whatever. Again, it's movement. I want to get to a topic today. And I really, really like this topic. Okay, so we're going to Google something, and I think you might like the topic as well. So I just Googled, why is Donald Trump so likable? Right? And, you know, who gives a fuck about these stupid ass articles? I don't really give a shit. And my conjecture is as good as theirs, right? There's no difference, right, between any of our opinions. They are all opinions, right? And they all are equal. This is the way I look at it. I think the reason why he is so likable is because, in a nutshell, he controls the narrative like a smart president would. But what Donald Trump does most is he opens up. He opens up everything, like he did in The Apprentice, even though I didn't even really watch that show. I never really saw that show. But he opens up with enough transparency to make you feel like you know what is going on. And I've been dialed in. I read the news. I like following it. I like listening to it. But from what I can see, just from the life that I've lived, I don't think there's ever been a more transparent president. And I say that considering the significance of technology in our current zeitgeist, in our current generation, our lives. Because just because we have the media, I say this about how do I just draw a blank? I say this about LeBron James all the time. If everyone knows, it's well known that Michael Jordan shunned not the media, but he was not going on screen. He was doing what was essentially beneficial for him monetarily, right? He was in the media as much as he needed to be. And it was limited because when you walked away from the media, the only way that you could ever be found again, because we didn't have those phones back then, was, you know, a paparazzi. People actually following you around with specialized equipment. The pervasiveness of technology in LeBron's generation versus Michael Jordan's generation, I mean, I think is as clear as it comes. But the way LeBron James has always handled this in the way LeBron James has handled his career in the media, it's been outstanding. It's been consummate. It's been the highest level of professionality. And I don't know that Jordan or anyone else could have managed it the way James did. And when we look at someone like Donald Trump, right? You see how sharp and clever he is. And I think part of his recipe is, I'm going to show you everything. Of course, we don't see everything. There's way more that we don't know than we do know. But and I don't want to throw a dig, and I'm not. The the idea the shit just told me to verify. The idea of transparency is so unknown to us, and it's so refreshing that we feel like we almost have a handle on things even though we know that we don't. It's refreshing to feel a part of our democracy, of our presidency. Feel like we actually have a say, because nothing is hidden. So it seems. That's definitely not the case. But nothing is hidden, it feels, as much as they can. And I think we as a people appreciate that. There's a level of enjoyment and thankfulness, really, that it's open that way. I mean, personally, if you don't watch the news, you'll be none the wiser. When I'm not in this country, I'm not reading about the news at all. And I'm fine. I read the local news, I'll watch the news, and I'll just be chilling. And I'll be like, oh, shit, something big happened in the US. I'm like, shit. I'm like, oh, whatever. I'm over here. I'm taking a shit over here. So, all right, let's go to something else. Fuck this shit. I'm loving this story. EU leaders commit to working together after Trump signals that Europe must defend itself. This goes hand in hand with another story that I follow Zelensky on X. He put out a tweet, I think maybe 24 hours ago, within the last 24 hours, that he wants to resume talks with the United States, and he's going to go down to Saudi Arabia to try to speak to U.S. officials. I'm not sure if the U.S. officials are there yet. I don't think they are. They may have some, but they want the U.S. officials to they're asking for another meeting. And then Trump also announced that he might be going to Saudi Arabia as well. But who knows if he'll be there while Zelensky is there. Yeah, Zelensky's hopeful for meaningful U.S.-Ukraine talks next week. They're going to hold talks in Saudi Arabia. Zelensky vows to work constructively with Trump for a fast peace. It's good news. It's good news, you know, however you look at it, because it brings people to the table. And that's the most important thing. Let me tell you something. If you have a loved one and you're very upset with them and you have a party or something, even a big thing like a wedding, a soiree, if you were mad at them, let's say you really were upset with them, in hindsight, I think 9 out of 10 times you would say, I wish they were there. If they weren't there, you would have wished, damn, even if they were so mad at me or I was so mad at them, I wish they were there. 9 out of 10 times. And maybe it's hard to recollect that. I think it will probably resonate with most. Trump is bringing people to the table that are killing each other. This is as heightened as it gets. I'm not saying the way that they handled it in the White House was good last week. I'm not saying it was bad, but I thought it was positive because progress was made. And the fact that it seems like Zelensky is thawing out, that's good. I don't think Zelensky was any type of dictator or an asshole or a thief or corrupt or anything. I think he's a very noble man and he's trying his best in the position and the cards that he was dealt. I also think there's a fucking language barrier, by the way. If you watch the videos and you watch them in total, watch whole videos, Don't look for cuts. I don't even like cutting up my videos. I want to just post them regular, but nobody has an attention span for that. They're like, me, go, go, go. Yum, 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 yum. Yo, calm down. Watch the Shoy Show, motherfucker. You got your newscast on 1.5 speed? Really? Bravo. Mr. Productive. Okay? Mr. Productive. You win. No, you don't have your fucking newscast on 1.5. So why you putting this shit on 1.5? Making me speed up my videos, jump cuts, all inorganic. Okay? It's bad enough that we're not in person. Maybe one day I can have News with Shoy in person. That'd be fun. Maybe I could interview world leaders one day. That'd be fun. I'm sure I get some nice steak dinners. Haha, yeah. Nice big fat steak. Ah, shit. Don't you just love News with Shoy? Of course you fucking do. Ribeye is the fattiest of the most popular steaks with lots of marbling and fat. Other fatty cuts include New York strip steak and skirt steak. Comes from the ribeye. Ribeye. Now. Fucking bring it over here, motherfucker. How you like it? There's only one way. Like this over here. What's the bluest, most rare? Right there. This one, this one, this one, this one. Eat them all. That's nice. See, I ain't got the time to take a picture like this. The fuck? I mean, is it hard to do? Probably not, but I ain't got the time for that shit. Ah, shit. Look at those big fat chunks, those big fat slices. Hey, that's how you get your meat between your teeth, like a little animal. Ah, shit. That's the picture we're looking for. Yeah, motherfucker. See, if you just watch me act like that, like react like that, and you're a vegan, you would be appalled. You'd be like, oh shit. Like, I don't even know how you would react. You'd be like, killer. You couldn't even like hold yourself. You'd be like, killer. If you saw me, if you saw me talking about meat like that, I was like, ah, shit, look at this fucking big fat fucking steak, motherfucker. And you sitting right there and we're having dinner, we in the restaurant. First of all, they're going to be like, sir, calm down, sir. Maybe they do that. Maybe they don't. I don't care. Unless you stop me, I'm eating my steak like that. I'm not going to pick it up on my hands or whatever, but take a nice big fat bite. Oh, what? Get that meat right there in the teeth. Oh, yeah. If you were a vegan, you'd be appalled. Appalled. I mean, like, you serious right now? I mean, I can't even find a good picture of a vegan that's appalled. So that's sad because Google sucks. But you know what? If you were a vegan, you'd be very upset with me. And I will be like, what do you want? I gotta eat this meat. I'm hungry. So back to Zelensky. We gotta move on to this topic. From this topic. Okay. Can't be. I mean, we could be talking about steak for a long time. Steak is good. And you don't have, you don't have to eat steak. You can eat whatever you want. You could. But you would be appalled. Yeah, see, I saw this headline earlier today. So stupid. The House censures Democratic Republican or Representative Al Green for disrupting Trump's joint address to Congress. First of all, if you remember Marjorie Taylor Greene interrupting the State of the Union last year, it's like, yo, shut up. She was mad annoying with Biden, always yelling and shit. But what he did, his antics over here, I mean, when I saw it, I was like, he said he was standing up for Medicaid, Medicare, but it's like, bro, come on. And there's Marjorie Taylor Greene, this bitch over here. Man, fucking ugly and stupid. And she was doing the same shit with Biden. Everybody forgets? She was mad fucking annoying. She was mad annoying. And what he did was unfair. I don't like that Democrats aren't clapping. That's fucking stupid. I thought that was really stupid. You know? I mean, just the fact that like here's one of like this is what Democrats were doing. Musk steals, false. I mean, this is like crazy. I mean, who's lying and who's telling the truth? Give me politicians that were lying. See, I don't like this. I mean, this post right here, the best part of the State of the Union, fuck you. I don't like that shit. Why are we making fun of the president? Why are we and it's okay to have dissent. It's okay. It's all right for you to voice your opinion here. Personally, I don't like it. I think there should be some level of respect and decency. It's a fucking job at the end of the day. You act like I'm not sitting here thinking that the president and everybody around him is not going to get richer. I know that shit. Am I supposed to be mad at that? The guy's doing a fucking job. You don't lie? I want to see the Democrats that don't lie. I want to see the Democrats that don't lie. Show me Democrats that don't lie. And then we can have, we can have a conversation. But I think that at least needs to occur. I still don't understand this. Ukraine needs to hold an election. Guys, Zelensky delayed elections because he's smart. Because Ukraine is in turmoil. First of all, there's cities that are leveled. And this is just what I know from reading, of course. But there are cities that are leveled. Nobody really wants to switch a president during wartime. His approval ratings, they say, are very low, but I highly doubt that shit. I think he would win another election. Maybe he wouldn't. Maybe he wouldn't. They also say, they're saying he's scared. They're saying he's scared because of them potentially holding an election. Because if they hold an election, then he might be ousted. If you didn't hear what was happening in the news, is there's videos of like people that were getting drafted into the army and they were getting arrested because they were trying to avoid going into the military in Ukraine during the draft. It's happening like right now, is what they're saying. And it's like, yo, what the fuck do you think is going to happen what do you think is going to happen in New York City or in the United States if you get drafted and you don't go? They're going to arrest your ass. They're going to throw you in prison. If they call for me on a draft, I'm going to go. I got no choice. Tell me I'm saying lies, yo. Tell me I'm saying lies. And again, they're saying Zelensky would lose by a landslide. I don't think so. I don't think so at all.
I really, I mean, I know the guys very well. They're friends of mine. But if the United States was in trouble and we called them, we said, we got a problem. France, we got a problem. A couple of others I won't mention. Do you think they're going to come and protect us? They're supposed to. I'm not so sure. With Japan, with Japan, we have a deal, which is a very interesting one. And I love Japan. And, the biggest problem I have with NATO, I really, I mean, I know the guys very well.
Let me tell you something. Trump has a legitimate point. If NATO were to, I mean, if something happened in the United States, I do think, let me just be clear here. I do believe NATO would, not NATO, but yes, NATO. The EU would back us for the right cause, for sure. The EU would back us. They would send troops. They would send military. I don't know. Maybe he wants to see something. Maybe he's just putting pressure on them. But it does seem like that. I got to be honest with him. What he's saying out loud, I'm saying as well. I don't know. Like, we do look at France and the UK. They're not weak, but we look at them as being weaker, right? And we look at certain conflicts and we look that they don't really deploy people. When we deploy people, they certainly don't deploy the same numbers. The US is always doing more. We are bigger, right? We have a lot of resources, but we are doing more. He's making sure that they're stepping up as European nations. I think that is not only fair, I think it's extremely strategic. It makes a lot of sense. All right, y'all. Like and subscribe. I'm going to hop on out of here. I love you guys. Hopefully I get to do this tomorrow. I'll see you guys.